Hello, welcome back. It's
Hello.
another episode of another episode of Sword and Shield speculatory discussion. Today we're going to be talking about something that I am very interested in, a Pokemon that I am very interested in, and a Pokemon that I hope will be very good in Sword and Shield, just for my own personal reasons. However, I figured that I'm not entirely qualified, to speak on this very powerful Pokemon, and so I decided that I wanted to reach out to an expert. So I am joined today by Jivetime, who's a Farfetch'd expert, an expert in the field. Jive, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your studies?
Hi, I'm Jivetime. I'm the local Farfetch'd expert. I'm just a huge Farfetch'd fan.
And you have been for a while, right?
Yeah, since he's been my day one.
Yeah.
Ever since that anime episode where he had some sass, he was my boy.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you gotta go back and watch it. It was so good. His category says the wild duck Pokemon, but in my heart, he's the jive turkey Pokemon. Because his whole aura is just jive turkey. This is what he is.
Yes. Awesome. Cool. Well, basically, we're still at the point of Sword and Shield where not that much information is known. We don't know any stats. We don't know about hidden abilities. But I still think this is interesting just to kind of talk about so the premise here is, what would Sirfetch'd need to make him number one, good, and number two, competitively viable, competitively good, not just good in general. So
Right.
Yeah, so basically, what do we know about Sirfetch'd? He's a fighting type. He's the wild duck Pokemon. He's got Steadfast as his primary ability, and the only ability we know for sure. And he's got the signature move Meteor Assault, which is a very powerful fighting type move that requires recharge time. So basically, with what we know now, how does it look, Jive, from your perspective? How is Sirfetch'd, given just the information that we know for a fact? What would you say about him?
All right, so what we have in front of us, I just feel like it doesn't look too promising out of the gate, because fighting types after fairy types got introduced, there hasn't been much success for them, at least in VGC. I can't speak for singles or any other formats, but prior to Gen 6 and Gen 5 and Hitmontop was huge, Conkeldurr was almost unstoppable in Trick Room. There really wasn't much to stop it. But after the fairy types got introduced, it just really slowed them down. So I think out of the gate, the typing really hurts it. The height, that probably is going to hurt it a little bit too. I don't know how it's going to find any mates at 2 foot, coming in at 2'7".
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, poor Sirfetch'd. But let's be honest. That's the height without the stick. There's no way the stick is 2'7".
That's true. Yeah.
Wait, he's 2'7" and over 250 pounds?
Dude, it's got to be in the stick.
But then why is the height included in the stick and not the, or why is the stick not included in the height but yes the weight? That doesn't make any sense.
Wait, that's true. Wait, how tall is normal Farfetch'd? I should know that. I'm the expert. I should know these numbers off the top of my head. He's number 83.
Normal Farfetch'd is... He's 33 pounds and 2'7". Okay.
Oh, so he didn't even get taller.
He just got heavier. But that tells us the stick is not included in the height. Yeah.
He might just be totally ripped.
That's probably it. Also, he has a shield now. That's got to be wrong. 257.9 pounds. That's got to be wrong. There's no way.
Yeah, something's off here. They're counting the stick weight for the weight, but not the height.
Or the shield, I guess. Is the shield really heavy? I don't know.
No, that just looks like leaves. We're going off on a tangent. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anyway, yes. Okay. Tell us about the ability. What do you think about Steadfast?
Yeah, it's not too great.
It's really not too great.
It's not too great at all. If it was inner focus, I feel like we'd be going in the right direction a little bit. But Steadfast,
I don't think I've ever seen Steadfast activate even once.
I don't think so either.
Ever. Ever. In singles, in game, or in competitive. I don't think I've ever seen it activate.
Because most of the time, if you're getting flinched in VGC, you're getting faked out.
Yeah.
Which also isn't great, because that also means you could be getting hit with something else in the same turn. So you might not even live to see the Steadfast boost the next turn. So it's just not a great ability. We're gonna have to hope for the hidden ability to come through and be something at least semi-useful.
Yeah, I think Defiant is something that could really give Sirfetch'd a fighting chance.
Yeah, for sure.
I would almost argue that it might need Defiant in a sense to be really good. Although honestly, it could be depending on the coverage moves it gets. Like if it gets like Poison Jab or if it gets Meteor Mash, which I don't think is that crazy given that they already gave it Meteor Assault.
Right.
Like I think it's a possibility it could get Meteor Mash or like a strong coverage move. I think if it has something basically to contend with fairies and Defiant, that might be actually viable. A lot depends on the other moves as well because it doesn't look like a fighting type that's going to get close combat to me. Although actually,
yeah, or like maybe Ice Punch too. Like Ice Punch is really good. Fighting and Ice are just good coverage together.
A lot of fighting types do get Poison Jab. A lot of fighting types do get Ice Punch.
Right.
I just feel like with Sirfetch'd it might be because it doesn't have its hands free to punch. You know, I feel like that might limit it. Like Drain Punch with Defiant could actually be interesting, and if the metagame is like more balanced,
right?
Or like more slow and more bulky. But like, yeah, I don't know if it will get those moves, but I do think good coverage moves are something that Sirfetch'd is going to need. It probably can't get by with just fighting type coverage, given that we know that fairies are so popular, given that we already know of several new fairy type Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you could probably presume it keeps Leaf Blade from Farfetch'd. Like you could
Right.
probably go off of Farfetch'd moves that he has now because he does evolve into it. And Farfetch'd has like some decent moves, like First Impression could be cute.
Feint.
Yeah, Feint is also very good in VGC.
I'm just gonna check to see if Farfetch'd gets Tailwind by level up. I don't think it does. It gets Feint. Move tutors. Tailwind.
Leaf Blade, like
Leaf Blade.
But the thing is, like, none of these are stab, and like
exactly. Oh, it actually Jive. It actually gets Poison Jab.
Oh, as Farfetch'd?
As Farfetch'd, yeah. Its base level up is Poison Jab. And Knockoff is another good coverage move.
Knockoff too, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those are all actually pretty good moves that it gets. Swords Dance is another option. Like Swords Dance. So I guess let's go back to Sirfetch'd. I think a big thing. So hidden ability is going to be big. Defiant would obviously be optimal. Would probably be best for it.
Yeah, I don't think there could be anything better than Defiant.
Probably not. But I think, I mean, maybe like, nah. Yeah, I mean, I think Defiant's probably the best one.
Like even if you had your pick of the litter, like if you could have any ability to slap on him, like what are some of the most?
Contrary would be so good. Contrary close combat, game over. But that would actually
that would super power as well.
Oh my god, yeah. I feel like he'll definitely get superpower.
Cause I was thinking like pure power, but I think at that point I'd rather just have Defiant.
Me too. I agree with that.
But it also depends on how, because it seems like they're trying to take steps to like nerf Intimidate. Because like in the past too, like I'm gonna refer to 5th gen a lot, but like in 5th gen, like they really like tried to like hunker down on like the Thunder Wave and the Prankster. Those are like it seemed like the two things that they really tried to like get rid of. Like in Spore as well, Amoonguss, they really tried to like
really weaken
to weaken Amoonguss. But I think going into this, just based off the trailers, it seems like they're trying to like nerf Intimidate or moves that lower stats. Yeah. Like just from Corviknight's hidden ability and things like of that nature. It just seems like they're trying to cut down on that.
And the eject pack item or whatever it's called. Switching out after stat drops, that seems like to take advantage of drops. Actually, and Jive, now that I look at it, so I think Sirfetch'd could be good in terms of an attacker, but it also gets some good support moves. Like Simple Beam is one of the most interesting moves in the game. And although it's not used to great effect most of the time, it has the potential to be for sure. And in certain teams, like having the option to override abilities both on your side and on your opponent's side could be like really, really important, I think.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's a big one, and also it gets Roost obviously as Farfetch'd. So, so basically, just to get us back on track, I feel like there's two kind of directions that can make Sirfetch'd really good. I think one is strong attacker, as in like it's very fast, it has good attack stat, and then it has maybe Defiant. We already know that it has good coverage move between fighting coverage because of its typing. It gets Poison Jab and Steel Wing both as Farfetch'd. And it also gets like First Impression, Leaf Blade, like Brave Bird, Return. All those moves are moves that like depending on like fighting poison and then something to hit ice or to hit flying types could be like pretty strong. It gets Knockoff as well. So like even just close combat Poison Jab, Knockoff could be pretty strong, I think, for it in terms of offensive. And then maybe you could also run more of a supportive set, like if it's bulkier, if it has like good enough stats for it, you could run Roost, you can run Feint, you can run Simple Beam, and not all together most likely, but just like you have the option of you have the strong fighting type Pokemon that like can hit hard, but also can support the team as well. So those are kind of the directions that I'm thinking, just off the top of my head.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, just from assuming, like if you look past at Farfetch'd's past stats, he did get a buff in attack over the years. So you'd have to take a guess that like just looking at Sirfetch'd like and the lore behind him, you got to think that attack stat's gonna like go up much higher than it already is.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's probably gonna get slower too. I'm thinking
it's already not very fast.
Yeah, but like if you look at Farfetch'd, like he looks a little bit more nimble.
He does. He's got wings, whereas Sirfetch'd has to drag around this like stick and shield.
Right, and that leak, that like he had a little baby leak. Now my man's got like a hunk of bamboo.
Yeah.
So if he's lugging that thing around, he's probably gonna get slower too. So what I was thinking is hopefully he gets Defiant and maybe he could be a sweeper under a Trick Room.
Yeah. I could definitely see that, and maybe give him Hammer Arm, or even Superpower is probably fine.
Yeah, just they should probably give him just about every fighting move outside of close combat, I would say.
Yeah, and maybe Drain Punch as well.
Yeah, right. All the fighting moves that don't have to do with hands, like you said earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that, actually. Like, yeah, and I mean, the thing is, the other thing we have to talk about is he's going to need a big stat boost. Like, Farfetch'd stats are terrible. Like, 52 HP, 90 attack, 55 defense, 62 special defense, and then 60 speed. Like, they didn't do him any favors. They gave him nothing. They were like, Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd was like, Dad, can I go outside? And Game Freak was like, sure. And then, like, they sent him out, like, naked. Like, like, there's some really powerful Gen 1 Pokemon, and, like, Farfetch'd didn't have an evolution until, like, what? Like, 15 years later or whatever? Game came out in 95, and now it's like, no, wait, what? Wait, is that 25 years ago?
Yeah.
This man took, oh my god. Yeah, they, like, I don't need to rant about it, but, like, they did him no favors. Like, he doesn't have a single stat that's even average. 90 attack is his best stat, and that's terrible. What's Gardevoir's base attack?
Like, Silvally, it's probably higher than Farfetch'd. Silvally, I'm pretty sure is base in 90 across the board.
I think it's 95.
Oh, he's base 95 across the board.
Okay, Gardevoir's lower attack, but only Mega Gardevoir is base 85 attack, so you're better off using, like, Zen Headbutt Mega Gardevoir sometimes.
Well, to be fair, it did have... It probably had more success in Ultra Series than Gardevoir did.
That's, you know, not wrong. Wait, what was Farfetch'd's original attack? Farfetch'd, its original attack was base 65. When they released Farfetch'd, they gave him base 65 attack, which, as I believe I just checked, was Gardevoir's base attack. So
how could you give a Pokemon such a good anime episode
and give him nothing?
And then give him nothing, and like you can't even catch him. Like in the first game, you couldn't even catch him. You just got stuck with one with a nickname already.
Oh, really? And then
like the only way you can get it was if you couldn't breed in Gen 1.
Yeah.
You had to trade for it. You had to trade Spearow for Farfetch'd, and like on paper, you're probably losing that trade.
At least Spearow can evolve.
At least Spearow, yeah, exactly. Like Farfetch'd is just like you're just cool.
Yeah. Well, maybe this will be Sirfetch'd's time to shine.
I hope so.
Yeah. I think we'll end the video there, because I think we talked about stats, we talked about abilities, we talked about moves, we talked about roles. Are we missing anything, do you think?
I think we covered just about everything.
Design, sick.
Yeah, the design, hands down. Like, probably the best that came out of, Sword of Shield so far.
I agree. Yeah. Oh, the last thing I want to say is Meteor Assault. Like, talking about its signature move, it's probably going to be bad, but, like, if for some reason Sirfetch'd is, like, super fast, I think you could do cool stuff with, like, Meteor Assault and then, like, eject button, where, like, you lead it. If the move, like, if it has Defiant, for example, like, that might be something. Now that Z moves are gone, I feel like you can get a little bit more creative with, like, how you want to use powerful moves. Like, no Z moves, no gems that we know of, so, yeah. Yeah. So, I think that's, like, something, or maybe you could use the one that's, like, lower, if, like, stats are lowered, you switch out, but that would only really work, I think, if it was, like, the end of the turn. Because if you get switched out as soon as your stats are lowered, then, like, if you intimidated, or if you don't get switched out as soon as your stats are lowered, but it waits till the end of the turn, which I don't think is how it works, but, like, just in case that was the way that it worked, like, you could, like, get Sirfetch'd and use Meteor Assault, and then if you anticipated them switching in an Intimidate user, then you could be like, okay, then I'll get to attack, and then I'll switch out. But I think that's kind of far-fetched, in a word, because, yeah, I apologize.
Is Jetpack confirmed to, like, work that way because in the trailer, like it used Draco Meteor and then it switched out. So I'm not sure if it's like self-inflicted stack drops or like your opponent.
I don't
like,
actually know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't actually know. But
because honestly, like if it worked, like it would get switched out just based like from Intimidate. Like that could be bad in a lot of cases. I feel.
You wouldn't want that in most cases unless like it was like your own Intimidate mon and you wanted like an immediate switch out. But like, yeah, if it's like your opponent lowers, then that's probably pretty bad.
Yeah, because if you're in a position to attack, and then they switch in Intimidate, then you get switched out. I think that I feel like it might just be based off of your own self-inflicted drops.
That would make sense because like, what's the other one that like works? Like you can't oh no, wait, there's a mechanic that works in a similar fashion where like competitive and defiant. Competitive and defiant. If you lower your own stats, you don't get the boost. It's only if
right.
So maybe it's kind of the reverse of that.
Right.
But yeah, okay, that's actually all I wanted to say. Jive, thank you very much for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Would love to have you on again soon. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this kind of content because it's fun making it. It's fun thinking about Sword and Shield, getting excited for the release. But yeah, we're going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.